Hello, faithful subscribers. It's the Griffins. We know it's been a really long time, and notice that we try to get a little fancy with it and not do a live video. I have no idea what the upload process is going to look like, but if you're watching this video, that means we figured it out. As some of you know, the ones that we actually know pretty well, we went out of town for 2 weeks
That's
over the
right.
summer because William's a pastor, I'm a teacher, and we were able to easily make an overlap in this trip.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I wanted to make sure personally, why Mexico? Why did we go to Mexico?
Right.
I wanted to make sure that William got to know a special part of my heart. I grew up going on mission trips to Mexico and have gone almost every year since like 2005, and so I've made a lot of relationships and key friends, and so we flew into Mexico City,
That's right.
and then we bused to Guanajuato,
Yeah.
and then we flew to Monterrey. Almost didn't make it out of the country. Along the way, we did a lot of things, baby. Do you want to talk
We
just
also
like
bus to Piedras Negras, right?
yeah,
That's a bit.
we had some other extra buses.
Yeah, went to Leon a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. Did you want to talk a little bit about maybe your takeaways, things that you enjoyed a lot about the trip?
So I enjoyed the people, great people, very nice, very hospitable, particularly those that we came across, not just in terms of Ariel's previous experiences with them, but even just the people that didn't know us. We're very friendly and open. I think it helps that Ariel knows the language and culture and history and all of that. And so we're not just tourists trying to be on vacation. Even though we were on vacation, there was a
Claro que sí.
there was a appreciation that goes beyond just tourism, which uh, anyone feels that kind of genuine connection to. So because of that, people were great, weather was great, food was great. Saw a lot of different sites, historical sites, pyramids, cathedrals, and had a really good time checking out the vista of
La vista
sí, of Pipilas and
del
yeah,
Pípila,
yeah, yeah, right.
Guanajuato.
So for those that have seen Coco, the movie by Disney Pixar, it was just so many flashbacks to that movie, and I think they did it really well in terms of being authentic to Mexican culture and people. So I really enjoyed it, and I can see why they wanted to make a movie about this amazing people and group and culture, and I think they represented it well. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the trip. I'd like to go back sometime, and it's different from the United States, but I think it's a place to be and to vacation.
Right. Yeah, so it was just really encouraging to go back and see people that I left and they were single, and I got back and they were married and all their kids, and so we spent a lot of time hanging out with precious little babies.
Los ojos. Ahora quiero hacerles una pregunta. ¿Saben ustedes hacer figuras?
And toddlers and just so many kids, a lot of kids, about 8 to be exact, and it was wonderful throughout the trip. And then also, I just was really excited to see William because, his
See, you have a time.
ability to understand Spanish, and he was just so encouraging throughout the trip. Oh, froze for a second. Even when, like maybe people were speaking Spanish, he had no idea what's going on. He just would like stumble through it, figure it out, and just was really positive. And so, as couples, those of you out there, I know not all of you have the luxury of having a shared summer or even that type of opportunity. Some of you already have kids. But I just would encourage you to remember the life of newlyweds like us, and then go get a babysitter and spend time with your spouse because it's worth it. Everybody thought we were on our honeymoon. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
nah,
I don't know why. Yeah,
we did that 8 months ago. And they're like, oh, only 8 months. And we're like, our motto to one another is keep the honeymoon
why not?
going.
Why not?
Easy to say in 8 months, but the hope is that these videos serve as an accountability measure so
Absolutely.
we can go back and look and see the
Absolutely.
things gazing at him and just
Uh
looking at
oh.
him. It's like, yo, he's so cute.
Good.
It was
Well,
like that was like censorship YouTube, and this isn't even live. But anyways, we just wanted to share that trip.
and I think a lot of couples as well can reflect and really demonstrate that newlywed or honeymoon phase continuing. We see a lot of older couples is been married for years and they still have that newlywed glow, and it is possible to continue loving your wife, to loving your husband, loving your spouse. And it's great to see that, and we're encouraged by all the people we met that were married in Mexico or even in the United States, and wow, we're inspired by those successful and faithful marriages.
All right, so we also have some news, a little update. It's crazy because there are people watching this video that we had no idea would watch us, and so we can just really tell when people in our life watch these videos because some people just know what's going on. Other people, I'm like, dang, like, have you watched our videos? Because we talked about this. And we know we still have to have relationships, and we try and meet with people like as much as we can. We meet with a few couples every week. But it's just really exciting because YouTube just gives us an awesome opportunity to share what's going on in our lives with strangers, but you end up being like friends. And those of you who love the Lord, you're like spiritual brothers and sisters that we haven't met yet.
Absolutely.
And so, just an update. So, we went to one of our friends' funerals and for his dad, and we talked about this in a previous video, I believe, and we talked about how going changed our prayer life. But even outside of that, there were other things that the Lord wanted to do in us, and a couple things that He had established in our walk with God as individuals. But when we got married, we were just confused trying to figure it out. And one of those things outside of prayer was like spending time with the Lord and His Word. And so God convicted both of us on that. And so we started saying, no matter what, we're going to be in the Word in the morning. And there was something in particular that we were praying for. William had recently left his previous employment, and so we told you about our financial journey, and we knew that we couldn't be financially free without, having a 2-income household. And so one of the biggest things we've been praying about is like for William to have a full-time job, that we'd be able to take all of his salary and put it towards student loans. And for me, that was just it was something that I really had to give to the Lord because obviously, one, I didn't have any control, and that was a struggle, just like trying to process through it. And I would assume, right, for you that it might have been a struggle just not having a job.
Absolutely.
And so, as we were praying and as we were spending time with the Lord, I was telling William I couldn't tell if the Lord was just like blessing us more or if we're just starting to discern things and our eyes be opened.
So in terms of being obedient to the Lord and reflecting during prayer walks, I was able to really come to the understanding that I need to write sermons now if that's something I'm called to. I need to embrace my calling as a pastor, as a shepherd. That's my occupation ultimately, and so I started Bible studies and I started just really writing out sermons I would preach. Though I have no congregation to preach to, someone needs to hear a word at some point, and so I must be ready in season, out of season to preach. And so once I started doing that, I got callbacks and interviews and actually job offers all in the same day. And there were previously closed opportunities, or when previously closed opportunities happened a lot, this just started opening up all at once in one day, pretty much less than 24 hours. So that's just a reflection of God's goodness when we actually put Him first.
So thankful for those of you who have been praying
Absolutely.
For the job search. People have like messaged us and they've asked us in the times that we've met up, how is everything going?
I wanted to let you know that Brandon and I have been praying for you guys regularly about your debt-free journey because we're really excited for you guys and we want to be an encouragement for you. And B, I also wanted to know how William was doing on his job search to see if anything's come up so far.
But what's crazy is God, when He blesses big. On top of William being able to get a job in IT, and like being able to really use and hone in the skills that he went to school for and that God has blessed him with.
Sure.
And just in the process, even being able to acknowledge, like, no, I do have these skills, and sometimes we forget, that God has gifted us in certain areas. So on top of that, I had applied for a job but hadn't heard back. But while we were in Mexico on this trip, they contacted me, and I ended up having 3 video interviews, and then I got back and had a 3-hour interview, and I ended up resigning as a teacher, and it was extremely hard to do. Maybe that'll be a side vlog to talk about that process, but God just doubly blessed us, because I was able to have a job that offered a little bit of a raise, but not even that. More than that, I was able to work. I'm working in a place where God has specifically equipped me in the area where I'm working, where I'm able to use my education background, but also my policy background all together for this position. And so in order to close, we're just thankful. We love the people who have joined along with us. We love our home church. We're still continuing the church search and deciding if we're going to go somewhere else or stay where we are. But we know we have connected and met up with the people from our home church, and we've been so blessed because they have continued to pray for us. They have not forgotten about us. They don't treat us maybe like the oldest brother and the prodigal son, but they continue to love us, and we love y'all.
Hashtag Black Love.
Adios.
Adios. William doesn't know I'm recording this video. He won't know until it's all done. But I just wanted to tell y'all how awesome it is to have a praying man. Seriously. For a while it was really difficult in marriage to figure out how to have my prayer life and my Devo life with another person running around. But William has just been an awesome example of a man of God and of a leader, and it's really encouraged me. And he has really just done a great job in leading me and showing me, what it means to be the hands and feet of Jesus. He's coming back. So.
Yo, oh, oh.